Hello everyone, welcome back. We'll be doing on chapter 3, that is Nationalism in India, part 2. Okay, so today's topic would be based on the Khilafat movement and the non-cooperation movement, which started off from 1921 till 1922. Okay, so we will be moving back to the First World War. Okay, the First World War started off in 1914 and lasted till 1918. Okay, so during this time there was a Muslim hat. Okay, there was a Muslim hat called as the Caliph. He was the political leader, okay, as well as the religious head of the Muslims. Okay, not only in one place but the entire world. Okay, Caliph is considered as the political head as well as the religious leaders of the Muslims. For example, for Christianity also, we have the highest point, that is the Pope. Okay, the Pope controls the whole Christian around the world. So likewise, a Caliph is the religious head of the Muslim, and these people are looked upon by the Muslim community as their leaders. Okay, so what happened? During the World War, okay, this Caliph's original place was in Turkey. Okay, he resided in Turkey and he controlled as well as looked after all the Muslims around the world from Turkey itself. But what happened? Turkey was involved in the First World War, and so right after the war was over, okay, the Caliph was replaced. Okay, the Caliph was sent away from Turkey, from his own territories. Okay, so most of the Muslims, majority around the world, did not agree. Okay, and we're not happy with this changes which was brought about. Okay, the changes which was brought about, removing the Caliph from his original place. Okay, and he became powerless as well. So this was hated by most of the Muslims all around the world. Okay, so Indian Muslims, okay, they also tried to bring a negotiation with the British people. Okay, they also tried to bring negotiation with the British people, and they appealed the British, okay, that after the war, okay, they should do something to the Muslim Caliph who is placed in Turkey. Okay, and the British people, they generously agreed that after the First World War, okay, the Caliph of Turkey, okay, would be, generously looked after. Okay, and they would not do anything which would harm him. Okay, that was the promise which was given by the British people to the Indian Muslims. Okay, when they demanded that they should not do anything with the Caliph in Turkey. Okay, so what happened? Okay, the war ended, but what happened? The opposite happened. The British, they didn't do anything. Instead, they displaced the Caliph of Turkey, and his powers were all gone. He had no authority over the Muslim majority because he was not in his original place. And according to their customs and according to their rule, a Caliph should rule from his original place, okay, look after the Muslim majority in terms of religion and in terms of politics as well. Okay, and so what happened? Finally, by 1920, the full power of the Caliph was gone. Okay, and he was disposed of from his original place. Okay, and so at this instance, Indians also started the Khilafat movement. Okay, in order to bring back, okay, the Caliph to his original position, that is in Turkey. Okay, so the Khilafat movement was started. So a conference was held. A Khilafat conference was held. Okay, in November 1919, where Gandhiji was invited to be a part of the Khilafat conference in 1919. So he was invited. Okay, so when he was invited to this conference, okay, he suggested the people, okay, or the Khilafat committee, okay, who was present there in the conference, that they should adopt a non-violent way of protesting against the government. okay, with which, okay, he suggested for a non-cooperation movement where they will not cooperate together with the British masses. Okay, they will not cooperate in the British way of life. They will not cooperate with in terms of trade and all. Okay, he suggested that the Indian Muslims should not cooperate with the British. Okay, that was the suggestion made by Gandhiji in the Khilafat conference, which was held in November 1919. Okay, and so by 1920 the Khilafat committee agreed, okay, on starting a non-cooperation movement, a Khilafat non-cooperation movement in India. Okay, and at this instance this committee also came and requested Gandhiji, okay, to be the leader of the non-cooperation movement which was about to be started. Okay, so Gandhiji took this opportunity, okay, and he agreed to lead the non-cooperation movement. Okay, why he wanted to lead the non-cooperation movement? Okay, he wanted to lead a non-cooperation movement because he wanted to unite both the Hindus and Muslims together to fight against the British. Okay, and also to bring a solution for the Khilafat incident. Okay, and also to free the Indians at the same point. Okay, with this, okay, the non-cooperation, okay, with this Gandhiji formally started the Khilafat non-cooperation movement in January 1921, okay, with the idea of Swaraj, okay, with the idea of Swaraj peacefully protesting against the British officials. Okay, moving on, the movement in the countryside for Swaraj that happened in Awadh and Andhra Pradesh. Okay, we will be dealing about two incidents which happened in Awadh and Andhra Pradesh. Okay, which is also related with the non-cooperation movement. Okay, so the non-cooperation movement went on a very large scale. Okay, it reached nook and corner of India, and peasants and tribals joined the struggle together to fight against the British. Okay, with which we have two movements which we will be studying. Number one is the movement which happened in Awadh, okay, which was known as the Peasant movement in Awadh. Okay, so he was a sannyasi and he lived a very simple life. Okay, and he depended on others for his life. Okay, he also had been to Fiji, okay, as an indentured labor. Okay, he was a forced labor in Fiji and he was working there as well. Okay, so this campaign which happened in Awadh, okay, it was mostly against the landlord and the talukdars. Okay, these were the money lenders as well as who took in charge of the money. Okay, so these people, what they did was they started charging high revenue, and as well as they had to pay huge amount of rent to them. Okay, the peasants had to pay huge amount of rent to these money lenders and talukdars, as well as had to pay high rate of interest. Okay, so when this happened, the people started to revolt against it. Okay, and the people were not happy against it, and they also imposed a system, okay, which was called as Beggar. Okay, Beggar was a system which was introduced before the independence of the country, where a laborer has to work in the field as a laborer, but he will not be given any form of money. Okay, he will not be paid for his work. Okay, but he will be paid in terms of his small resident as well as for his food by his owner. Okay, so beggar system began to emerge at large, especially in Awadh. Okay, so when this happened, people were not happy. Okay, and what happened? The peasants, they did not have any right of their own. Okay, and if they did something wrong, then they would be thrown out from the place. Okay, so beggar system was such that it was very cruel to the peasant community. Okay, and also moving on, Gandhiji took a role in this Awadh non-cooperation movement in Awadh as well. Okay, that is the Peasants movement. And so what happened was that Gandhiji requested the people to pay only 50% of the rent as well as the revenue to the moneylenders and the taluktars. Okay, and he also asked the people of Awadh to rise against, to revolt against the moneylenders and the taluktars. But this was only possible when people like the Nayas, okay, these are the barbers and the dobiwalas, okay, these are the washermen, when they joined the rest of the peasant community, then only then they will be able to start a protest against the moneylenders and the taluktars. Okay, so Gandhiji also incorporated the non-cooperation movement, okay, in Awadh. Okay, but soon what happened? By 1921, these peasants, they started to revolt against the zamindars and taluktars, and they started attacking on the zamindars, as well as they started burning the markets, they started burning the house of the zamindars and the merchants. Okay, and large portions of the bazaar was also burned by the peasants. Okay, so with this, okay, the movement in Awadh had to be called off without a success, because non-cooperation focused mainly on what? Non-violence. Okay, non-cooperation movement focused mainly on non-violence, but the people in Awadh, they resorted to violence, attacking the zamindars, burning their houses, burning the bazaars. Okay, so because of which, okay, the peasant movement in Awadh was called off, and also people in this area, they started talking that Gandhiji told them not to pay taxes, when Gandhiji requested them to pay only 50%. Okay, Gandhiji requested to pay 50% of the tax as well as the rent, but the people started talking that Gandhiji told them not to pay the tax to the zamindars and the moneylenders, which created more chaos in this region. Okay, with which the peasant movement in Awadh became a failure. Which, okay, we come to the end of this class. We will continue with the tribal movement in Andhra Pradesh in our next class, and we will also be looking into different topics in our coming class as well. So everyone, thank you and have a nice day.